You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I am back. Road Rants for Black and White Sports. As we know, if you have been following along with the channel, Stephen A. Smith has gotten Max Kellerman pushed off of ESPN's First Take. Now, they're both pretty equally woke and utterly insane, but without a lot of fanfare, today was Max Kellerman's last day on ESPN First Take. The other day, I made a video where Andrew Marchand of the New York Post confirmed that Stephen A. Smith most definitely, regardless of anything Stephen A. might like to say publicly, Stephen A. Smith most definitely got Max Kellerman pushed off of First Take as part of an ongoing master plan that Stephen A. Smith has for world domination. At least, he hopes it's world domination. He wants possibly, I also did this video, possibly Michael Irvin from the Dallas Cowboys, from the NFL Network, to come in and replace Max, or a revolving door of what is supposed to be largely black host on ESPN First Take as they continue down the super woke, race-based rabbit hole that is turned into an utter nightmare at ESPN. You would think at some point they would start learning their lessons with all these public embarrassments, but no, not going to do that. And of course, Max Kellerman is one of the lead ringleaders of the circus. He is utterly insane. The other day, having labeled the game of chess as racist because the black pieces moved second. Whew. Well, what can only be described as utter fake BS today, as Max Kellerman is hosting the final episode of First Take that he is going to be on, his own finale. Stephen A. Smith was oddly absent, having some surgery, it seems, conveniently. Well, Stephen A. Smith decided to call into the show to wrap his loving arms around Max Kellerman. Let's get to this. Stephen A. Smith briefly calls in to Max Kellerman's First Take finale after reportedly pushing him off the show. Without much fanfare and devoid of his co-host Stephen A. Smith in studio, Max Kellerman signed off First Take for the final time Wednesday. Last week, ESPN announced Kellerman would be leaving the show after 5 years as Smith's sparring partner. Kellerman joined First Take in 2016, taking over for Skip Bayless, who departed for Fox Sports. Following the August 24th announcement by ESPN, Kellerman finished out his tenure on the show with guest co-host. Smith's absence was odd, considering he reportedly was the one pushing his co-host off the show. But in the final minutes of Kellerman's last show on First Take, Stephen A. Smith called in to say goodbye, noting he was off the last 2 weeks for surgery to address sleep apnea. All right. This big nose of mine, if you could believe it, I actually look uglier than I normally do, Smith said. All I wanted to say was to call in and to thank my man Max for the 5 years, Smith added. Originally, when we talked, it was supposed to be a 3-year run, and the next thing you know, it was a 5-year run. And we've been number one every single year, and you had an awful lot to do with that. I guess just not enough, huh, Stephen A.? Stephen A. had a lot to say, who was going to be his partner after Skip left the show. Kellerman noted after Smith's brief homage, and I was honored to have been chosen. Oh, good Lord. If Smith selected who his host was going to be 5 years ago, he undoubtedly had a say in who his co-host will be starting next week. While the decision to change First Take may not have been his alone, if Smith wanted Kellerman to stay, ESPN would have obliged. In the recent years, Smith cemented himself as the undisputed leader of First Take in the face of Disney sports brand. Whew. Smith became the network's highest paid on-air personality in 2019, signing a 5-year, $60 million contract. Kellerman will now become the point guard for ESPN's national morning radio show alongside Keyshawn Johnson and Jay Williams. God, that's going to be a worse show than it already is, and it is awful. The former First Take host will be launching a yet-to-be-announced TV project for ESPN. In addition to their sports commentary, Smith and Kellerman were known to speak out on important social or political issues on First Take, Woke Take. Before his final sign-off, Kellerman took a moment to acknowledge the important conversations he had ongoing with Smith that superseded any scoreboard in sports. Quote, important issues were brought up through the years. We got to opine about and use this platform to say things we felt were important in the world of sports, and when social issues intersected the world of sports, and I'll always cherish that. He'll always cherish ruining and being involved with ruining what used to be a fantastic sports debate show. Now, that really was when Skip Bayless was there, and yeah, him and Stephen A. Smith were awesome. It was fun to watch, and you could not wait to see those two go at it. But Max Kellerman, let's be honest, everything they talk about, all the crap they bring up, it drives me nuts. But at the end of the day, I find Max Kellerman to just be utterly unlikable. And sometimes, if a person is just unlikable, that's enough to make you and me nauseated as hell when we turn the TV on, right? So, on top of all the crap he comes up with, I mean, sometimes I do believe he is trying to say some things just to cause a stir because they're that insane. I mean, the other day with the chess, Trey Lance, Jimmy G, I mean, he's got terrible woke social takes. I mean, going back to the last 5 years, he does. And, of course, he could not stand 45, which just did nothing but make me smile. So, and look, as far as Stephen A. Smith calling into the show, we know that's partly to save face. I'm sure Stephen A. probably didn't want to do it, but he knew, look, I'll give Stephen A. credit for this. He does know, and he's been around long enough to know optics is a thing. It absolutely is a thing. Perception is a thing. If he's trying to cover up some of the things that's already come out about the fact that he absolutely wanted Max Kellerman to run the hell out of town and out of that show, well, this is a good way to try to do it. I don't buy it for 1 second, but it's certainly one way to go, and I would think you would probably expect Stephen A. Smith to call in to this show as Max is signing off. But I find it odd that with all this fallout going on, this is when Stephen A. just happens to be gone. You get my meaning? Tell me what you think, black and white sports fans. Stephen A. with the fake love for the guy he stabbed in the back to get kicked off the show, Max Kellerman. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.